President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the President of the European Parliament discussed ways to develop relations between Egypt and the European Union. Egypt condemns the attack on the presidential palace in N'Djamena, Chad, aimed at destabilizing the country. And Egypt, Greece and Cyprus sign a cooperation protocol to establish a joint business council. You're watching the latest updates from Egypt on Qnews. Let's move to the latest developments. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, have discussed ways to develop relations between Egypt and the European Union. Both sides discussed boosting economic investment and trade cooperation and strengthening their strategic partnership. President al-Sisi highlighted Egypt's efforts to achieve a ceasefire in Gaza, release captives, and provide humanitarian aid, emphasizing the two-state solution as the route to peace. The meeting also covered Syria, with President Sisi reaffirming support for its unity. Discussions on Libya, Sudan and Somalia focused on Egypt's commitment to their stability. The European Parliament President praised Egypt's role in regional security and called for enhanced EU-Egypt coordination. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has affirmed that Egypt serves as the first line of defense against irregular migration heading towards Europe. During a phone call with Antonio Costa, the President of the European Council, al-Sisi warned of the repercussions of the ongoing conflict in the region and the risk of it evolving into full-scale war. He stressed the responsibility of the international community, including the European Union, to exert pressure for an agreement to end the war in Gaza, secure a ceasefire in Lebanon, and restore stability to the region. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has expressed his appreciation for the success of the Egyptian-European Investment Conference held in June 2024, which marked one of the first major events under the new strategic partnership. During a meeting with the President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, Abdulati reaffirmed Egypt's commitment to achieving a ceasefire agreement in Gaza, securing the release of hostages and detainees, and ensuring the delivery of humanitarian aid to the enclave. He also emphasized the importance of recognizing a Palestinian state based on the June 4, 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has reviewed housing projects, urban development plans, and construction in the new administrative capital. In a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Housing Sharif al-Sharbini, Minister of Investment Hassan al-Khatib, Urban Planning Advisor Amir Sayyid Ahmed, New Administrative Capital Company Chairman Khalid Abbas, and Armed Forces Engineering Authority Head Ahmed El-Azizi. President Sisi directed the continuation of intensifying government efforts to ensure the implementation of sound governance of resources and assets in ongoing projects based on the best international standards. President of the European Parliament, Roberta Metsola, has said Egypt is a key partner in the Mediterranean region and a key player in promoting regional dialogue. Posting on her official X account upon arriving in Cairo, Metsola said Egypt is a key partner in the Mediterranean and a major actor in promoting dialogue in the region. She said she is keen to strengthen EU-Egypt relations and underlined the message that we will play our role in addressing shared challenges. Egypt has condemned the attack that targeted the presidential palace in Chadian capital N'Djamena yesterday in an attempt to target the country's security and stability. A statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Egypt affirmed full solidarity with the government and people of Chad, denouncing this act which targeted the nation's security and stability. The ministry reaffirmed Egypt's support for the efforts made by the Chadian government to preserve the country's security and stability and achieve the aspiration of people in development and peace. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has emphasized Egypt's support for the Chadian government's efforts to maintain security and stability in the country. During a phone call with his Chadian counterpart, Abdurrahman Golama Allah, the two ministers exchanged views on various regional issues, including the situation in Sudan and ways to enhance security and stability in the Sahel and Sahara region. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has condemned official Israeli accounts for publishing a map that falsely claims to be historical, which includes Arab territories from Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. During his meeting with a delegation from the Palestine Liberation Organization, Abdulhadi emphasized Egypt's unwavering support for the Palestinian Authority, reiterating Egypt's rejection of any plans to displace Palestinians from the homelands. He also highlighted Egypt's efforts and diplomatic engagements to halt the war on Gaza and achieve a ceasefire agreement in the region. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulhadi has underscored the vital role of the African Space Agency hosted by Egypt in advancing Africa's development goals in line with the African Union's Agenda 2063. During a meeting with Sharif Sidqi, the Egyptian of the head of the Egyptian Space Agency, and Tidiana Ouattara, the head of the African Space Agency, Abdulhadi praised Egypt's presidency of the UN Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space between June 2023 and June 2024. He highlighted its success in producing a consensus report, which was subsequently adopted unanimously at the UN General Assembly's sessions in October-November 2024. The Cabinet's Media Center has denied that the Grand Egyptian Museum will be sold and confirmed that it will remain owned by the Egyptian state. The Cabinet's Media Center clarified that what was circulated by some social media pages and hostile media outlets regarding the government's intention to sell the Grand Egyptian Museum against the backdrop of restructuring the Board of Trustees of the Museum Authority for 3 years is absolutely incorrect, stressing that what was published in this context is merely a new attempt to stir up confusion by spreading rumors and lies among citizens. Egypt, Greece and Cyprus have strengthened economic ties by signing a cooperation protocol to establish a joint business council. The agreement was formalized during the Egyptian-Greek Cypriot Business Forum held at the Egyptian Federation of Chambers of Commerce alongside the 10th Trilateral Cooperation Summit. Egypt's Minister of Planning, Rani al-Mashad, highlighted $4.2 billion in concessional financing secured for local and foreign private sectors in 2024, the highest since 2020. From January 1st, 2024 to January 8th, 2025, goods cleared through customs total over $79 billion, including $33 billion for production inputs and raw materials and $20 billion for strategic goods. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has emphasized the importance of monitoring customs clearance at ports and entry points. He also highlighted efforts to reduce clearance times, optimize the ACI system, and ensure the availability of essential goods, supporting stability and securing critical production inputs for Egyptian industries. The Information Technology Industry Development Agency, ETIDA, has signed an MAOU with Connecta Egypt, a subsidiary of the Spanish Connecta Group, to establish the company's new headquarters in New Cairo. Connecta plans to invest $100 million in Egypt over 3 years, offering digital services like AI, digital transformation, big data analytics, LOT, technical support, and multilingual customer service. A key initiative is the establishment of Connecta's first global center for excellence for generative AI in Egypt. This partnership supports Egypt's goal of reaching $9 billion in outsourcing service exports by 2026, enhancing its competitiveness in the global outsourcing and IT market. Minister of Investment and Foreign Trade Hassan Al-Khatib and BSH Egypt CEO Luis Alvarez have discussed the progress of the company's flagship manufacturing project in the 10th of Ramadan city. With an investment of 55 million euros, this factory marks BSH's first in Africa. In a meeting, Al-Khatib highlighted the progress of the company's initiative to produce stoves under the Golden License system. The facility plans to split its production evenly, with 50% dedicated to exports targeting Middle Eastern and African markets, and the other 50% catering to domestic demands. China Asia Potash plans to establish a complex for producing phosphoric fertilizers with the aim of exporting 100% of the output through the port of Safaga. CEO of Gafi, Hussam Heiba, announced the Asia Potash plans partnership in the green ammonia sector and will extract phosphate from an area between Luxor and Aswan. The first phase, costing $1.6 billion, will process 2 million tons of phosphate annually and create 3,000 jobs. In the next phase, investment is expected to reach $7 to $10 billion, with production increasing to 10 million tons per year. According to the Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics, the Compass, trade between Egypt and Greece reached $1.5 billion in the first 11 months of 2024, while Egyptian exports to Greece declined slightly to $1 billion from $1.3 billion in 2023. Imports from Greece showed a modest increase, rising to $530 million from $523 million. Remittances saw an increase, with Egyptians in Greece sending $15 million and Greeks in Egypt sending $3.4 million. Investments flow grew, with Greek investments in Egypt reaching $13.9 million and Egyptian investments in Greece rising to $1 million. Well, that brings us to the end of our news bulletin. Here is what we've been covering. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and the President of the European Parliament discussed ways to develop relations between Egypt and the European Union. Egypt condemns the attack on the presidential palace in N'Djamena, Chad, aimed at destabilizing the country. And Egypt, Greece and Cyprus sign a cooperation protocol to establish a joint business council. On that's all for now. Remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments. Many thanks for watching.